Okay, so I wanted to make a video on the construction of something called a Hoko knife. My name is Jason. I'm a flint knapper, and over the years I've come to realize that these tools are very useful. I guess the word primitive is kind of a misnomer sometimes. They're very effective cutting tools. And so what I want to talk about today is a simple knife you can make with very few things that can be found. This is a tool that you can make just from scrounge materials. This is Obsidian. The lighting out here is not great. You could use TV glass. I have another video taking blades off of TV glass on my channel. But Obsidian's what we're going to use today. And we're going to try to do everything primitively except for the heat source. Just because it's fall here and the leaves are falling and I don't want to start a fire. So, the first thing we have to do is we have to strike ourselves a couple of blades off of this core. Now what you're looking for is either an edge that's at 90 degrees to the body of the material or one that's less than 90 degrees. So I'm going to use this edge here, strike here, and run a couple of these ridges. That ridge, or that ridge, and take off some blades. And what I'm going to use to do that with, a hammerstone. These can be found all over the place. This is a densely packed sandstone type. If you're making this as a survival knife, the hammerstone doesn't matter. Flint knappers can be a little picky about hammerstones. But if you're just trying to drive blades, then, you know, use what you have. Okay, so I'm going to roughen that platform up a bit. Just cut out on me. So roughen the platform up a bit and take a flake. That was a little bigger than what I wanted to do. It's because that edge was rounded. Okay, but we still have more platform to work with. Roughen the platform up. We'll take a flake to run this ridge. Okay. So this is a blade type of flake. Nice and thin. It's got a little curve to it. Maybe we'll take a few and pick out the one we want. I think I need to fix the lighting. That looks much better. So now you can see what we're looking at are ridges. These are what make blades. That's a short one, but it may work well for our purposes. It's nice and flat, sharp. This is probably going to be a big one. Yeah. Alright, we need to get some more ridges on this piece. We need smaller, thinner blades. Okay, that's a pretty good sized flake. That would work good for an arrowhead. That's not bad for what we're trying to do. Alright, maybe one more try here. Okay. Alright. So, these are like these three the best out of the ones we've taken. A little bit too bright there. So what we're going to do, and this is something that an archaeologist would refer to as debitage, just the byproduct of flint knapping. So the edges on this Obsidian are ridiculously sharp. What we're going to do is make a handle, a reusable handle, to use these blades, and it's called a Hoko knife. And the advantage is it lets you use what would otherwise be trash, number one, and to make use of this sharp cutting edge without putting your fingers in danger. So, first thing you need to source yourself is a stick. Okay? And we're going to use this big flake I took off to begin with to make a cut in this. It is going to be fancy, just going to go around and score it and snap it off. This is a dried piece of multiflora rose. Then I'm going to get a flake and split it. Now, the key to using flakes for tasks, this is a dacite flake, is make sure you dull the side your finger's going to rest on. Okay. Now, using flakes just like they are is kind of dangerous. That's why we're going to make this tool. Okay. Piece of wood. Okay, so now what we have is a slot to accept our flake. And what I have here is some unprocessed milkweed cordage. I'm just going to use it as is. This comes off the milkweed plant. It's been dried out in the sun. Nothing really fancy here. Okay, I'm going to start right here, down at the bottom, wrap it over itself so it'll hold tight, a few wraps, okay. Now, the only part that I'm not going to do primitively, I'm going to use my favorite tool, my heat gun. And for adhesive, I'm going to use this pine pitch glue. I make this pine pitch charcoal. I process it. You could just use pine pitch right off the tree. But it works by getting it hot. That it becomes gooey and ooey, and then you can apply it. So I'm going to get the glue hot now. Right now I got a ton of editing to do. I can hold this and do it in the frame. Yeah, I think I can do it like that. You'll see as it gets hot, it becomes more like a liquid. Okay, and I'm going to open up our knife handle. I'm not going to be too pretty with it. I'm just going to smear a good little bit down in there. The beauty of this stuff as a glue is it's entirely reusable. And I'm going to get our blade. Pick up the glue. So, you know, you wouldn't have electricity. Ooh, that's stupid. When you're doing this. A little warm. You'd be doing this over a campfire. Something similar to that. Okay, nice and gooey. Work it right on in there. I think that's enough of that guy. Get this set how we want it for the glue cools all the way. And we'll finish our wrapping. Now this milkweed would make much better cordage if it were processed for its fibers and twisted and all that, but we're just going to do it this way for the evening. We're going to cut the excess, and then I'm going to cure this milkweed wrap with a bit of pine pitch just so that it stays in place, number one, and number two, I have extra pine pitch on hand then on my knife. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more on the back side. There we have it. There's our finished knife. In the process of hafting it, I managed to chip the blade, but it'll still work just fine. The advantages to this are that it's very easy to snap one of these small flake blades and put it in the end of your finger if you're actually using it. I know this because I've done it a whole lot. I've used these tools quite a bit. I've used them to process fur animals, meat, squirrels, and they'll work just fine. But this is a step above just holding a flake. This gives you way more dexterity. You can get in there and do whatever you need to do. And then we'll cut some of this cordage, I think, just to show it off. Maybe we'll just test it and see how far we can push it. Oop. Obsidian is razor sharp. I'm sure most of you guys already know that, but it's not a thing to be taken lightly. Obsidian is very nasty. There's a piece of plastic. Oh, it may not be the best thing for that. But for processing natural materials, it's the way to go. And what this will do, it'll free you up cutting edge. So if you're in a position where you're in a situation where you have to make do, wait on rescue, or survive, you can put your primary knife away, preserve its edge, and use this for simple cutting tools. And then, once you've exhausted this blade, you just heat it back up, take it out, pop in another one. Alright, there's my tutorial on a Hoko knife. Thanks for watching.